just for you. Come join the party. It's a celebration. Karamu at Kwanzaa time of year. Let it go, no black or white. Y'all, it's alright. It's a celebration. This is day 4. That shall last throughout the year. Happy Kwanzaa, everyone. All right. There is so much we can do. Happy. Good evening, and I'm back at you again with day 4 of Kwanzaa. Today I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different because we're going to talk about the good old days, back when we were more of a community. And it's going to be a little bit different because back then we were more of a fan of a unit, and it's talking about having businesses and growing your own jobs and having our own economy. And I'm going to go back to a time when some can remember and some can't. But I remember going to church on Mondays, and, really it's kind of like Stevie Wonder's song, but I'm kind of like do it a little bit differently with a different type twist, the same type of twist. We would go to church and we'd go to Sunday school, and then after Sunday school, instead of putting our money in the offering, we would sneak off to Jacob's Bakery and buy donuts. If any of you know me from a long while back, you'll know that we attended Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Oakland on 1203 Willow Street. So if you have any idea of that church, you'll know that Miss Jacobs was one of the members of the church. And also, she has some very good donuts, and we all would sneak down there. And I'm saying that to say this, is that in our communities, we had businesses that we supported of people that look like us. If we went down the street, we could go to the corner store, and one of our schoolmates' parents owned the store. Or if we didn't like our school lunch, we could always head down on 7th Street to Miss Lorraine's and buy hamburgers and french fries, the same cost as our school lunch. During those times when we were able to do that, we didn't really realize what we were doing. But everything we did, we were in the community. If we took our clothes to the cleaners, if we, had a death in the family, if we needed a realtor, if we needed this, that, and the other, it was right there for you within your community. You didn't have to go outside the community to do anything that you needed to do. All of our businesses consisted of us, and we supported each other. And as time progressed, we kind of got out of that tradition. We stopped opening our own businesses. We stopped supporting our own businesses. We became to be more segregated and more, into other things than ourselves. And we lost that connectedness. And that's what this particular part of Kwanzaa is talking about cooperative economics. That means we're supporting one another. We're opening businesses of our own. We are supporting them by going and buying their products or being a part of their services. And we have really gotten away from that. Now you see a lot of businesses popping up due to the COVID situation. But it was a time when we could just walk down the street or around the corner or within our daily journey, just to, not because we were actually thinking about supporting the community, but because it was already there. It was a part of the community. It was a part of your everyday life. And we need to get back to that. We are so hesitant to support each other. We are so hesitant to, buy something or a product from someone that is made right here by us or in the community. We need to get back to that because that's what it's all about is supporting each other, learning how to grow a business, learning how to develop a business, learning how to create jobs. That's what we need to do because a lot of times we can't really depend on the jobs that we had. If you look at the toll takers, at the drop of the hat, their whole jobs are gone. Now they have cars that want to drive themselves. Now they have stores with complete remote checkouts. That's a lot of jobs in the community that's being lost that we used to fill. So if we don't increase our level of education or our level or knowledge of what's actually going on, we're just going to basically lose out. And that's not what we want to do. We want to be a part of the economy. We want to be a part of the economic growth. We want to be a part of what's happening that could embetter our lives, our children's lives, and just have a better economy within our own community, within our own selves. But if we don't start, we can't develop that. And it can start in the home. You can start with a business with your own family right there in your home. And not just that, those are your biggest supporters and your biggest anchors and your biggest team is right there in your house. If you get everybody in your household involved, not only are you bearing them, but you're teaching them, you're showing them, you're letting them know the value of a dollar, how it's made, how it's spent, what your profits, what your losses. And you're starting it at an early age where they can get it and hold on to it, where they won't think that the only thing that they can do is go out and get a job. Because right now, they're the working poor in a lot of cases. And, in some cases, self employment isn't for everyone, but also at the same token, we need to have that choice. We need to be aware of, we need to have that particular knowledge so it can be within our memory bank. So we'll be able to pull it up. We'll be able to do more of an evaluation. We'll be able to explore our own creativity. We'll be able to explore, different aspects of life, different aspects of business, things that we never even thought of before. Most people think, oh, I can open a restaurant and it's just going to be automatically successful. No, that is the hardest business there is to thrive in, is to uh, have food and to serve food because it's not just about the food that you serve. It's all about consistency. And when you start hiring people and doing different things, you could tell when some chefs are on duty and when some chefs are not on duty. So it's a very hard business. So if you really want to look at it, there's so many different aspects and so many different other things that we can do that you know um, can bring about wealth and can bring about a livelihood, to bring about comfortability in living. And that's what cooperative economics is about, is us beginning to use our creativity to create income and wealth that we can share with our family, to share with our friends, to share with our community, to have us spend money with ourselves so we can support each other. It's one thing. I want you to think back and see if you've ever heard of a commercial for an Oriental restaurant. You know why you really don't see that? It's because they support themselves. And what I mean by support themselves, that means they come in and they make that business happen. That's a part of their culture. That's a part of their process. That's a part of their growth. So if we adapt that same policy or that same politics, look what we could do. Spreading things by the word of mouth. So I want you to think about it. And this is actually day 4, cooperative economics. And it's about building our jobs, building up our community, and building up business. So this is something that I really take seriously. And it's something that is a principle that I love to adapt and would love to see utilized more often. You'll see me more practicing into that policy because that's a real strong belief. If we support one another, we don't have to worry about being a failure because we're supporting one another. And I don't mean you have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars, but you know what, you can give a good comment. You can embrace that business. You can support that business. You can make your own. So that's what we should do. We should be about feeding into each other and growing into each other. So that's our Kwanzaa lesson for today. And this is like you can see, it's a real subject that I love that I'm continuing to talk into it. But the word for collective economics is Ujamaa. And that basically means that we are doing things to create an economy, to create a living, to create something that can sustain us, and also family working together, the community working together to grow and to develop income and a livelihood that is comfortable, that can make us comfortable and successful. So, with all that said, I'm going to say bye for now until tomorrow for our next day of Kwanzaa. And remember, teach this to your children. Start them with a lemonade stand or something that, that might interest them. Work them through the process. Let them know what it means to, invest in this and then to see what the outcome of what profits would be. We need to start young with this so our children can begin to understand the value of the dollar and not always think money grows on trees, even though it is a part of wood and paper, but money does not grow on trees. You got to earn it. So, with that said, I'm going to say bye for now. See you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening and happy Kwanzaa. All right. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye for now.